Anybody got anything bad to say about me? Anybody? Really? I'm sad for that, brother.
Wow, I didn't expect any of this. Not like this. I want to thank all of you for coming. It's a joy. I see my neighbors here. I see Audrey, Stan, Patty. I see, boy, my ECU, please stand up. ECU, please stand up. Come on, Pastor Russell, stand up. And I know some OJ, and she back there, ECU as well. You know, coming to Oklahoma, in my early adult life, these guys were part of my upbringing away from home. Who I am today is part of these guys. You know, and I send out invitations, and, you know, I see a lot of great faces here. Everybody here is a part of me in some small way. And I hope that in some small way, I affected you too. Coach Williamson, glad to see you. Coach Cobb. Oh, special thanks back there for Coach Phil Johnson. We got NBA in the house, guys. We all part of that ECU bunch. Craig Ladd, our DA, he's here. Tom and his lovely wife, they're here. Wow. Stephanie, you're here. We got our middle school principal, Ms. Huddleston, she's here. We have our sheriff, he's here, Chris Bryant. Boy, we got a lot, tell you what, we got a lot of school teachers, we got educators, we've got social workers, we've got judges, former judges, we've got court clerks, we have preachers, pastors, my church family. Guys, I'm so thankful. There are so many people I can name that I know this and everybody. I see your face, Mike. You know, it's a joy. Who would have thought a guy like me, Malcolm, welcome, didn't see you there. A guy like me would be standing before you today. We came here from Wasson High School. We played in a multi-boys and girls basketball tournament in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. It was in December of 1974. Coming from in the early 1970s, you know, our country went through a huge transition. And at that time, what an experience that we had coming to Tishomingo. It was an experience like no other. We played a ball game, spent the night across the hall, across the street at the dormitory, and that night, my eyes opened. We had a black guy, a white guy, and a Native American that came to our door that night. They had some 210 Elderclear with peppermint chopped at the bottom of it, and they passed it all around, and, you know, we all took a little drink of it, so that's why we didn't perform that good the next day, Coach Tom. But we witnessed something. I had never seen a Native American in my life until I came here. Then the next following day, Walter Barnes, who we call Horse, he and Donald Lusk, we walked down the street to Tishomingo High School. People were pulling on us, touching us. It was like an experience like no other. That's when I fell in love with Oklahoma. Even though I had other opportunities, I came to Oklahoma. But I'm not supposed to be standing up here before you guys. I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing. And why do I say that? Of course, basketball is my ticket here. And even though Lee Wayne mentioned about us growing up in the projects, actually we were living a life of luxury. Can you imagine the 1960s and my mother coming from the country in Alto and coming to Monroe, Louisiana, and then, of course, having running water, electricity, heat, air, you know, all of that good stuff. Thank you, Judge Morris. Thank you. you've been top-notch to me. You really have. And you helped me tremendously. But I was in the 8th grade. Couldn't play a lick of basketball. 6 feet 1 inch tall. Can you imagine? You know the nets from a rim, how high that is? Can you imagine 6 feet 1 inch tall and you can't barely touch the net? This is a true story. And then, of course, I go to the 9th grade. I encountered this coach by the name of Sidney Smith. Coach Smith saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Coach Smith, at the beginning of my 9th grade year, he gave me 2 books, The Proper Techniques of Shooting the Basketball. My junior year, I became the best, highest percentage shooter on the team, evident by the newspaper. Coming out my senior year, going off to college, Coach Smith told me, he said, Robert, your junior high school coach said that you would never be a ball player. He said, don't invest your time in it. He can't jump, he's too skinny, he's too uncoordinated, he doesn't have what it takes. But someone believed in me and told me what I could become, and I believed it. And I did everything he told me to do, and I didn't question it. Isn't that amazing? When I look at some of the guys we have law enforcement here, when I became a police officer here in this great state, I did not want to become a cop. I've never had anyone that wanted me for a job so bad in all my life. Actually, I was out of the insurance industry. I had quit, and I was unemployed. Had a little bitty kid, and I needed to go to work. And then saw Melvin's cousin, Teresa Clay. She was the chief of police secretary. So I called her up after I got through watching T.J. Hooker. Remember that TV show, T.J. Hooker? And I thought, well, I can become a dispatcher, so I can give me a coaching and teaching job and be behind the scenes. And when I'm sitting down there, he's interviewing me. Chief Bill Cutler started talking to me about becoming a policeman. I did not want to become a cop. I know what it's like to run from the police because I'm with the wrong crowd. I know what it's like to be up against the wall, think, oh, I hope they don't have anything on them. I understood that. I turned them down. Go back to Ada. Have a college degree. Weeks later, I called Teresa again. She said, sure, Will, we have 2 dispatcher jobs. But she told me, we don't have any black patrolmen right now. They want you as a black patrolman. We need a black cop on the streets patrolling. So I just dropped in unannounced this time. They didn't know I was coming. Next thing I know, I'm in the room with Chief Bill Culley, Major Willingham, who was assistant chief. And they started talking about being a cop. They didn't say cop, they said police officer. And then he asked me, think about this. Can you imagine someone wanted you a job so bad? And I've never in my life had anybody almost to the point of begging me to take a job. Seriously. And then they said, well, why don't you become a police officer? I said, well, maybe the 1 in a million chance I stop somebody, that'd be the one that shoot me. Then they started talking about store clerks getting killed compared to policemen. Then firemen getting killed compared to policemen. And then they said, we want you talking over, talking to your wife, etc. Now here I am. I got a job I don't want. I didn't accept. Now I'm talking to everybody, And I had people tell me, oh, you'll be good at it. I couldn't do it, but you'll be good at it. And then I remember Slim telling me, what are you waiting for? It's amazing when you have friends to give you that encouragement, that motivation, that extra, that drive to make you take that step that you don't want to take. And so I called him up and told him I'd take the job. And I remember, the first day I put that uniform on, I was tripping. Now, some of you know what I mean by that. It was a pure D trip. Now, what do I mean? I had on a uniform, I had on my cap, my hat, I had on my belt, my utility belt, and had the handcuffs and all that. And they gave me a big .357 Magnum. I had to go to Clayton, then I got my Glock. A .357 Magnum would have 38 special rounds in it, and I had the old Western style vest with the bullets tucked all in there. And I had a long baton and all of that. And I remember the first day I stepped outside that department, it was like, whoop, everybody was looking at me. Like, who is that tall black cop, you know? And I felt it too. And my first assignment was, he had Kevin Woods, who was my training officer before I went to Cleveland. And it was traffic stop. And I must tell you, I understand what officers have to go through when they have to make quick decisions. Here I am. I'm on the passenger side. Kevin Woods was telling me the do's and the don'ts and what to pay attention to and all of that. And I got the 10 code sheet right in front of me, and he's telling me to radio out position and keep my eyes on and watch how he approached the car, etc. So I have the door open, 1 foot out. Meanwhile, the mic in my hand, I'm watching everybody. Now all of a sudden, I'm having a serious talk with God. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, you just don't know. I was sitting there sweating. I was sitting there thinking, what if there's a shootout? Can I shoot these people? Can I kill these people? What if they shoot at me? I mean, seriously, it was a heart-to-heart felt talk. And then when Kevin got back in, he gave them a warning. Then all of a sudden, I felt like everything was okay. When I was terrified. So I understand what officers have to go through. Then, of course, the position came open as a District Court Juvenile Officer for the 20th Judicial District. And Kathy Nolan, she used to be a police officer at Ardmore PD. Then she left and took the District Court Juvenile position. And she came to me and said, hey, Robert, I'm leaving to take a job in Oklahoma City PD. And I told the court about you, and I think you'll be great for the job. Why? Because I used to pick up all these kids skipping school. I got awarded a t-shirt and doing our briefing about picking up the most kids skipping school. And so I applied. I sat in the room with former Judge B.B. Bridges, Judge Lee Card, and Judge Tom Walker. And they gave me the job. So I put down the uniform and walked across the street to the courthouse. Still had a badge and gun. I was commissioned deputy sheriff then as well under Bill Nolan. And I did that for a little while. I got called almost every night in the mailroom. She told me I was still in my dream. I had something in my hand saying county 27. And so I left there and took a job at the Department of Human Services Child Welfare. I only did that for about 6 months. Child welfare has a tough job, y'all. It's a very tough job. I had to go out on a call with her, Doreen Douglas, one evening, and had to take some kids. And it's nothing like having to take a child out of the home. I mean, you're talking about a horrific moment, something to remember. And kids are screaming because they still love their parents, regardless of what may have been done to them. And then the parents using profanity, going off, and I had to tell the man, sir, I'm sorry, but if you touch him, I'm going to have to arrest you. Use your head. Be smart about this. And what you did. Then, child welfare. Well, JSU, Juvenile Services Unit, was part of DHS at the time. And then, of course, JSU was breaking away to become the Office of Juvenile Affairs, its own entity. And that's what happened in '95. But before leaving DHS, I made a transition over into JSU. Ronnie Roberts, Malcolm Williams, Julie Scott kept telling me, come on, work with us, we have a job, you know. And which I did. And then that's when I found my calling. That's when I found what I needed to be. I never looked at it as work. Never have looked at it as work. And because why? Because I'm very engaged with people. A family, when a kid gets in trouble, it's not just the kid. You have to work with the entire immediate family. And there was somebody here tonight who left. I didn't tell him to come. And, he had to get back at his 2 little girls. We're still under confidentiality law, so I'm not saying any names. But last month, I was at the YMCA. And he said, are you Robert Wilkins? I said, yes, I am. He said, you saved my life. I said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah, you saved my life. And then he told me who he was. He said, you don't remember me, do you? Kids grow old. They're not like that. And all of a sudden, muscle up, hair over their face. But when I got back to the office the next day, I did look his name up and see what it was. So I was his PO at the time. And he said, I said it 3 times before I left the YMCA. 3 times. That's what it's about. Yes, it is protecting the public, but also we have to transform those kids before they become 18 and an adult. And then we know what that entails. There was a girl that came into my office, my last story I'm going to tell here. The girl came to my office about a dozen so years ago. She was 16 years of age. It's amazing how people all, I forgot, Judge Todd, I forgot about that. Judge Todd Hickshaw. She came to my office. She was referred to me by the school system. Someone from the school, may have been Stephanie. I don't know, somebody from the school. And she was just out of control, sneaking out at night, wouldn't go to school, having sex, with people inappropriately and so forth. And so usually when people come in, we do our assessments, we target these kids. You guys know that back there. We target these kids and, determine the probability of reoffending and what services we need to use. But this was an informal type of moment, so I didn't do any of that. That kid's name was not going to our computer system. But then again, I looked at it as, this is a lost cause. So what I've done, as I've done with every kid coming to my office, you guys, ECU, my family, my friends, you guys is who I use all the time to get through to these kids. Because I'm like, what are your goals? What are your dreams like? What do you want to be? What if there's a possibility, the slightest possibility that you can achieve the most wildest thing you ever thought of? What if? Lo and behold, because I share with you, girl, the picture I have on the wall, my ECU team, the coaches, I talk about all y'all all the time over the years. This girl ended up going to Louisiana Tech University, because I told her about me going to Louisiana Tech. When I left Murray State, went to Louisiana Tech, which is a couple of miles from Grambling State University, and all the blacks, we all know what Grambling is, okay? And the thing is, she went to Louisiana Tech. She got a degree. Got a job in New York. How do I know that? I'm in Walmart. Then from a distance, I see this lady waving her hand, flagging me down from a distance. So I'm like, oh no, you know how that is, DA. Donnie. Oh no, I hope. Then she gets closer and then she tells me the story. Thank you, Mr. Wilkins. After she gave me this big, huge bear hug. Thank you, Mr. Wilkins. Thank you. She tells me about this girl who I thought was out of control, who was cussing her mother when in my presence, who the school had referred her to me, who we just knew there was no help for this kid. She told me she went to Louisiana Tech, got a degree and so forth, and thank me. I saw a few years after that, she gave me an update, she was still there. So there are a lot of stories like that, guys, because it's all about getting people to dream. Albert Einstein said the imagination is everything. It's a preview of life's coming attraction. Think about that. What Albert Einstein said. It's the dream. It's the dream. That's what it was for me. It was a dream. When Coach Sidney Smith told me what I could be if I did this or that, I believed it. I didn't question it. I just did it. And it paid off. The dream. I'm here for you right now because of the dream. Everything around us, look at that. See that picture there? You just missed it. That's an old one. That's all I did. Talk to the kids. And I've spoken to every school in this county. Every school in this county. Well, maybe I missed a couple of elementary schools. But whether it's from elementary to middle school to high school, all in this county in my entire career. But it's getting back to the dream. And it was the dream that got us here. The dream of this electricity. The dream of the comforts we feel in here. Central heating air. It was once someone's imagination that dream was so powerful that they made it. And think about this. You have more people to come and tell you what you can't do than what you can do. You would have more people to shoot you down and tell you you can't do it. It won't work. Why is it that so much negativity come out of us more so than the positive, encouraging things for people? What drives us? What makes things happen? It's that encouragement, that motivation, that drive that's in us, that dream that brings this about. The dream. You have Let's limit ourselves to the dream. Henry Ford. Henry Ford had a dream, didn't he? Henry Ford went to numerous banks to try to borrow a little money to mass produce the horseless carriage. He got shot down everywhere he went, but all he was looking for was just one yes. One yes to make the world a difference. The Wright brothers, while the sand dunes in Kitty Hawk, you had people probably making bets on the sideline that they would never get off the ground. But those same people were encouraging them to want to be a part of their great enterprise after it was no longer, what? Invisible. I'll write in a book right now. See the invisible to accomplish the impossible. What people think is impossible. And there we have Martin Luther King. That's Sidney Smith, guys. That's my hero right there. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's dream was that his 4 little children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I hope I displayed good character. At least I tried. Am I perfect? No, but neither are you. Oklahoma is what I thought it was, by evidence of what I'm seeing here today. You guys are awesome. I'm so happy that you're here, every last one of you. And I know everybody here. There's not one person in this room I do not know. Captain Musgrove, thank you. And I want to thank all of you for coming. My next endeavor, tune in to basketballtalk.com. And where I got that name from, I got to tell you, I was in an elevator earlier this year, and this woman, she looked up at me, she said, "Wow, you're basketball talk." But I thought, hey, that's got a good catch to it. I better look that up. Now it's an LLC. Hey, thank y'all for coming. Thank you very much. And I appreciate it. I love all of y'all. Really, really. All of you have a special touch in my heart. Thank you.